Hey guys, my box finally came from Tom Ford Beauty. I was on that site as soon as I found out that their Soleil collection had launched. And so I got a lot of stuff. I won't say that I got every single thing because there are a lot of products and colors as a part of this set, but I did get at least like one thing of everything, if that makes sense. So anyway, we are gonna be getting into this. Let me just share with you what I got. And these products are available at Sephora. So I ordered these off of the Tom Ford Beauty site. I wanted to get them in time for the sale if these items were to pop up on the Sephora site to let you know whether or not you needed to, take the time and order these during the VIB sale, which is still going on. It's still going on. It's over on Monday. So use the code Spring Sale online if you do shop online. And then if you shop in store, you just, log in with your phone number or whatever. And Rouge members, as you guys know, 20% off and then 15% off for VIB members, and insiders get 10% off. Anyway, every little bit helps. So I got the Glow Highlighter in Capri. I got the Bronzing Powder in Corsica. All of these names are gonna make me wanna book a vacation to the Mediterranean. And then I did get all of the Eye Color Quad Lumieres, they're calling them now. So Hazy Sensuality, Honeymoon, Peach Dawn, which that I believe is new, but Hazy Sensuality and Honeymoon, those are color stories that we've seen before. Golden Hour may be new as well. And then there's a fifth one, Moonlight Dip, which I think is also new. So we will be swatching all of these, but I don't believe I'll be able to get them all on my eyes in this particular video. But really, I'm just most curious about the formula because I think these are supposed to mimic the wet-dry formula a little bit. We'll see. We'll see once we open them up. And then I got a bunch of, let's see, some lip, and then I think there's like a cream cheek product. There's a hydrating lip oil. It's called Bare Beach. I may put that on first because my lips feel a little bit dry. Some tinted lip glows. Let's see, how many of those did I get? Tinted lip glow. I got 2 of those, and then I got 3 of the Sunkissed Blush. So these are the blushes that I was thinking about, these cream blushes. Bicoastal, Cabana, and Resort. Bicoastal reminds me of that baked gel powder blush duo that they came out with so many years ago. It was so pretty. Those were so pretty. And then the 2 shades that I got in the tinted lip glow is Nude Bikini and Cruise Control. So those are all of the products I got. And you guys, I'm so excited for this. So excited for this. I just kept thinking, is this gonna be a good comeback? Are we coming back? I know it's not that different, this collection. It's very reminiscent of previous Soleil collections, but the packaging is a little bit different. The formulas are different, and there's enough nostalgia there that I think if you're around for the first time, this is very exciting. So gosh, this really just, I'm so excited. Oh, and speaking of Sephora, you guys, I just caught wind that Refer is gonna be at Sephora. Now they're only gonna be in Hong Kong at the moment, but hopefully if they do well there, they will expand and we'll see them here in the US. I'm really excited. And since Refer is, as you guys know, I mean, they're a company that's been built on community feedback, which I think was their unique offer to this space, was that they had you basically vote on brushes, whether you like them or not, or give them feedback, and they would like rework the brushes. They sent them out to makeup artists, had them use them, and really listened to the feedback that they were given and really listened to you guys, the everyday user. I've been purchasing their brushes and giving the feedback since almost the very beginning. I came across Refer because I followed this Instagram page, Wandi Gondigo, and actually her name is Bellyhead. She's a reformed beauty blogger. So she doesn't really do much beauty blogging anymore. I see a lot of dogs and delicious baked goods on her site. But anyway, I came across her Instagram page, years ago, and she was talking about Refer and how you could get these, handmade Japanese natural hair brushes inexpensively as long as you gave them feedback. And I thought, oh, that's really great. So this was years ago, and I fell in love with their brushes immediately. As you guys know, I've been using these. I mention Refer brushes all the time. So anyway, what I think is so cool is they're having us, the community, vote on their end cap designs that will show up at Sephora. So there's two options, and if you go onto their site, you will see these more clearly. But there's A and B. Here's A, just to give you an idea. And I love this like watercolor drawing. It's so cool. And then here's B. So B has, looks like it's split in half, and there's more of like a showcase area here and then the inventory over here. I think I like B more. It's just a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. A, I think, is probably more practical. It looks like you can fit more products, but it says can still hold 90% of our products in the B. I think that's a decent trade-off, you know, because they're such a minimal kind of brand. You know, their whole aesthetic is fairly minimal, especially if you go onto their site, you'll notice that. And I think this lends itself to the Refer aesthetic. But don't let me sway you. Go on, take a look for yourself and vote. And if you do vote, you get a free gift, which is their complexion sponges, 3 distinct sizes. So a whole box of different complexion sponges. So that's your free gift if you go onto their site and vote. That's all you have to do is vote for their end cap design. I think that's so cool. That's so cool. Well, a huge congratulations to Refer. I absolutely adore them. Congratulations on this. Congratulations on growing your brand so successfully. It's always so good to see. It's good to see. Okay, so let me open up these Tom Ford boxes here and we'll take a look at these products more closely. And of course, I'll do some swatches. So let's start with the bronzer. This is in shade Corsica. It's the bronzing powder. And this is a very simple pressed powder, which I was happy to see because I remember when Tom Ford came out with a baked powder, it was like a baked gel powder. It was very, very difficult to pick up. A lot of people just poo-pooed it, did not enjoy using it at all, and they reformulated it to the version that came before this one, which they have slowly been sort of, you know, discontinuing or whatever, and that had been my favorite bronzer, my favorite powder bronzer for such a long time. I was so sad to see it go, but I was like, okay, all right, probably means they're reformulating. So hopefully this will behave just as beautifully as the previous version. And then here is the highlighter. So this is the Glow Highlighter in 01 Capri, and this is in a baked gel formula. So you definitely want to use a dense brush. You definitely want to use a natural haired brush if you can. If you only have a synthetic haired brush, I think a dense one will work fine. But the tone of this looks really beautiful. It looks very neutral. It has a little bit of gold, but a little bit of peach. I'm really excited to try this as well. And then let's take a look at all of these eyeshadow quads. So you'll notice in my close-up shots that I took out the little brushes, but it does come with the 2 little brushes, so that is still the same. Let's start with Hazy Sensuality. So this is one that existed before, and you know, we'll better be able to tell once I get these on my eyes how they perform compared to the previous formula, but these they definitely feel different. The previous version had like that velvety touch to them. These don't have that. These feel a little bit harder in the pan, but we'll see. I'm very, very optimistic because these are a baked gel powder. I really do like that formula in general. So we'll definitely take a look once I get them on my eyes. Okay, here's the next one, which is Honeymoon. I mean, this was probably the favorite from the previous version of these. Gorgeous. The shades look to be pretty much the same. And then we've got Peach Dawn. And this is one I don't think we've seen before. Very, very warm, very peach for sure. And then next we have Golden Hour, which is very pretty. It is on the warmer side. It's got a little bit of peach, but a little bit of pink in there too. So this is nice. This has like a soft touch to it. And then last but not least, we have Moonlight Dip, which I think is a nod to Nude Dip. Those top 2 shades look very Nude Dip. The bottom 2 shades, however, look a little bit deeper than the original Nude Dip. A little bit deeper, a little bit warmer, like that gold tone we definitely did not see in the original Nude Dip. Nude Dip was very pale, very cool toned. I really liked Nude Dip a lot. Okay, now for the cream blushes. So these have a very mousse-like texture, and I'm just holding up all 3 together just so you can kind of compare the different shades. But from left to right, we've got Resort, Cabana, and then Bi-Coastal. And I think in the swatches here, you'll be able to see like that moussiness I was just talking about. So I imagine will have like a very matte appearance on the cheeks. We'll see. And then I did get 2 shades of the tinted lip glow. And I was surprised at this packaging because it's just a solid white. There's no window or it's not clear, so you can't see the actual shade. And because it's solid white, it also looks like, almost like a mistake in the packaging. Like there should be gold down there, but I don't know, maybe they're trying to differentiate it from, is it their Ultra Shine lip colors? That basically have a similar profile to these, but are gold all the way around. Anyway, I just think these look a little, I don't know, a little odd, a little top heavy. But those are the tinted lip glows. And then this I didn't bother swatching because this is just the hydrating lip oil. But I want you to try it. I love a good lip oil. And I'm actually gonna start with this. So my lips are a little bit dry. Oh, the texture is so interesting because it's not very thin. It's not like oily. It's actually on the thicker side. And then there's almost like a matte appearance to it. And it feels very slick on the lips. Very interesting. So yeah, it's not like gel-like and it's not oil-like either. Almost just like a thin balm. All right, well, we'll see how my lips feel once we get to these tinted lip glows. So I just want to mention, I did put foundation down because I don't have any Tom Ford foundation at the moment. So I just put down the Sisley Phyto-Teint Primer Glow. I put that down first, just a little bit, and then I went in with my Dior foundation stick in 1.5N. And I wanted to dive right into the bronzer. So let's do it. Let's do it. So this is, again, in Corsica, and I'm gonna use one of my favorite brushes from Refer. It's such a great all-around cheek brush. It's their number 5. It's part of their original collection, and you can't go wrong. So all of the brushes I'm gonna be using today from Refer are natural undyed goat hair. So this is a great natural hair type, one of my favorites, very, very versatile. Usually when it comes to natural haired brushes, you generally don't want to use those with any dyed natural hairs for sure, because it's like the liquid in liquid, it can start to leach the dye out and all of it, so you don't want any of that. So when it comes to using natural haired brushes with liquid and cream products, you want to opt for an undyed version. So usually this is kind of a rule of thumb. If you are working with a goat-haired brush, if it's just plain white like this, it's undyed. I'm saying all that even though this is a powder product, but when we get to the blushes, it'll probably make more sense. All right, so this is the number 5 from Refer. It is behaving a lot like the previous version. I remember when I went into the previous version, because it's the one before that, that was the baked version, it was so hard to pick up product. When I got the newer one, I like jammed my brush in and there was so much kick up and I was like, oh, maybe they overcorrected a little bit, but it was great. It was just a really nice soft powder that blended out beautifully. And I'm kind of seeing that with this. Do you see all the kick up? All right, so let me shut up and get this on my face. I like the tone of this. It's warm but peachy. I like that for bronzer. Ooh, that blended out nicely. And the finish, it's matte, but it's a soft matte. It doesn't look really dry on my skin. Oh yes, we are off to a good start. I love the tone. I love the way this powder behaves. Blends beautifully, and I'm putting this straight on top of this foundation. I don't even have powder down, and it's like blending out beautifully. This is good. Okay, thumbs up for this bronzer so far. Let's move on to these Soleil Sunkissed Blushes. So we've got Resort, Cabana, and Bi-Coastal. I'm really tempted by Resort because this has that watermelon punchiness to it that I really, really love for the spring, summertime. But I'm also tempted by Bi-Coastal. Yeah, let me just go with Resort. I feel like this is one that I'm gonna really love this summer. And we're just interested in the formula. You'll end up picking a shade that you enjoy if this formula is a good one. So I think what I'll do, like most other cream blushes, I'm going to just dot onto my cheek. I'm gonna take my Refer number 4 brush and just blend out. And I would use Tom Ford brushes, but they changed to synthetic hair brushes from having natural hair brushes several years ago, and I just don't like their synthetic hair brushes. They're just not very good. Not very good at all. Definitely have a matte finish, not surprised considering they have, you know, a matte appearance even in cream form with that moussey texture. But I was hoping for a little bit more. They look a little too dry. Let me put a little bit more on. Yeah, they definitely have a matte finish. I think it's a little bit too matte for my liking, I have to say. I feel like I've come across a lot of blushes lately that have like a soft matte appearance to them. And while they don't necessarily have any like reflection or metallic sheen to them or anything, I don't know, it just doesn't look quite as flat. These look pretty flat. This is probably great if you have oilier skin, but for a dry skin girl like myself, this looks a little bit too dry for me. You know, I just recently tried the Chanel Beige, their summer collection, and they have a cream blush in the tube. That one I enjoy much more. I enjoy the texture and like the appearance much more. It's not like super glowy or anything, but there's just a little bit more life to it. All right, that's just a personal preference. I will say I think it blended out really nicely. The pigmentation is really, really nice. Yeah, if you like a matte blush, I don't think you could go wrong with this one, at least so far. All right, let me try the other cheek here. So this side has settled down now. You know, it's been a couple minutes and I'm starting to see like a little bit more of like a natural sheen coming through. So maybe I just needed to settle down. I don't know, can you guys see that? It looks a little bit less like just dry and powdery. This side's coming out too. Okay, all right, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I spoke too soon. This looks, yeah, this looks a little bit more natural. Okay, and I do really like this color. So perfect for the summertime. It's so bright. Let's move on to highlighters. So I've got Capri. So you know what's interesting is that there are actually 4 shades to this highlighter, and Capri is not available on Sephora. They have Amalfi, which is a light gold shimmer. They have Portofino, which is a shimmering neutral bronze, and then they have Canoon, which is a warm tone medium copper. I believe, let me go to the Tom Ford site. Okay, so Capri is the lightest. I'll flash a picture up here of the 4 shades that you'll find actually on Tom Ford Beauty. Yeah, and it's described as a beige shimmer. Interesting that they kept that one on the Tom Ford Beauty site as an exclusive and didn't give it to Sephora. Interesting. Let me take a look at the bronzer. Oh my God, they don't have my bronzer shade on here either. That's shady. So Corsica is definitely the lightest shade, I know that. And then they have 3 other shades here on Sephora. Cascai, which is a light warm bronze, I think that's the next shade up. And then Panarea, sorry, these names, medium deep bronze. And then Formentera, which is a warm deep bronze. Wow. So the lightest shades are not here on Sephora. Okay, well, I guess I'm glad that I ended up getting them on the Tom Ford Beauty site. Yeah, there's 4 shades available on the Tom Ford Beauty site. Corsica being the lightest, number 1. It's described as a medium warm bronze. I mean, I guess what it is, but it's, I think, meant for, obviously, for like light toned skin. Interesting. Let me see. Okay, the liquid cream blush. So they have Cabana, they do have Bicoastal, they do have Resort, and they do have Cabana. So they do have the 3 shades that I got, and 5 are available on Sephora. On the Tom Ford site, 6 are available. I wonder why they kept like 1 back from all of these products. That's so odd. Oh, they kept back Villa. So Villa is available. It's described as a soft red. That's available on Tom Ford Beauty, not available on Sephora. This is so weird. So weird. And then we have not gotten to these yet, but these tinted lip glows, let's see, there's 7 available on Sephora. Actually, there's 10. Am I looking at the right thing? Yeah, there's 10 on the Tom Ford Beauty site. Okay. So only half on Sephora. This is so interesting. Oh, the eyeshadows. Let's see. I got all the eyeshadows that were available on the Tom Ford Beauty site. So all 5 I got. Let's see what's available on Sephora. Oh my God, they only have 2 available on Sephora and 1 is already sold out. Hazy Sensuality is already sold out and Moonlight Dip is available. Anyway, I'm glad we took a look. All right, let's move on to highlighters. So this highlighter, Capri, is not available on Sephora. It's available on the Tom Ford Beauty site, but here's a close-up of it. And because this is a baked gel powder, I definitely recommend using a natural hair brush. I'm gonna be using the Refer 04 brush. And the reason for that is it just picks up a lot more product than synthetic hair brushes. Although if you use a really dense synthetic hair brush, you can probably pick up a decent amount of product. In general, I always prefer natural haired brushes anyway. So I'm gonna go in with 4, pick up some of the highlight. Woof. That is some shine. It's definitely picking up a little bit of texture there. Right here where I have some like larger pores. I definitely see that. But I don't know, sometimes I feel like it's worth it. It's worth it. I do think in general, like powder highlighters will show texture a little bit more than cream highlighters just because they're shinier. They're shinier. Cream highlighters tend to be a little bit more, you know, soft and satin in its appearance. Wow. Look out. 2016 is back. Holy smokes. God, I remember doing videos and watching videos. It was basically like the brighter the highlighter, the better. It was like, who could come out with the brightest highlighter ever? And Tom Ford would very often have these gorgeous baked gel powder formulas that were just out of this world. Wow. Yes, please. So that's the Tom Ford Glow Highlighter. Yeah, I'm really loving that. That's gorgeous. Okay. All right, so far so good. Bronzer great, highlighter great. The blush, it's growing on me. It's growing on me because it's not looking quite as powdery as it did when I first applied it. All right, let's move on to eyebrows. Do I have a Tom Ford brow pencil? I do. The Brow Sculptor in number 4, Espresso. I'm still holding a grudge about the fiber brow gel, but we're not going to talk about that. You guys know how I feel about that. I mean, they should just bring it back now that they're redoing the whole line, right? Just bring it back. Now, let's see which, you know what? This is actually going to be a pretty easy decision. I'm going to use the Moonlight Dip eyeshadow quad because that one is new and it's also available on Sephora. So if you want it, you can get a discount right now. And I actually really enjoy this. This is a little bit warm for me, but we'll see. I really like these 3 shades. Really gorgeous. I'm gonna go into this shade first. I'm gonna use my handy dandy Refer number 1 brush. Again, because these are baked gel powders, I would recommend natural hair brushes. Again, undyed goat hair. It's just gonna sweep this all over. I like this really light mauve tone. It's very, very pretty. Of course, I'm tempted to just leave it as is. That is a gorgeous one and done shade. But I will go on. Let's use this deeper shade. I'm trying to think where I would use this gold. I feel like these are really great together. And this, maybe just an accent somewhere. All right, let me use this one first and just sort of deepen up my outer corner there. So I'm gonna move to the number 2 brush. This is more of a flat shader brush. You're gonna get a denser application with this brush. So I'm just going in lightly and just gonna shade my outer corner here. Okay, and I think what I may do is I'm gonna use one of the Shoto brushes from Refer. These brushes are like light and fluffier at the top. Let me see if I can show you the difference. So here's the Shoto 00 brush. You see how wispy the top of the brush is, especially compared to like the number 1 brush. So they have like a similar kind of shape, but the Shoto is wispier at the top. So you're gonna get like a lighter application, like a wispier kind of application. And they even have a Shoto 05 brush, which is kind of like their 5, the regular 5 brush. So here's their regular 5 brush, right? Nice paddle, nice like cat paw. And then the Shoto, do you see how, it's almost like it looks like it's been electrocuted. Like it just has this wispy, fluffy top there. And so you would get a really nice, like lighter kind of application to your product. I probably should have used this for the highlighter, but I really wanted to get like as much highlight on there for you guys as possible. Okay, so I'm gonna use this Shoto 00 brush and go into the gold. And I just wanna lightly dust that just in the center of my lid. Oh yeah, perfect. Just a little tint. This brush is exactly what I was looking for. It's a nice sheer layer of the gold on top. I'm going to use their Refer number 3 brush. It's an eyeliner brush, but I'm going to use this to apply this lightest shade to my inner corner here. Brighten that up a little bit. And that is Moonlight Dip. That is Moonlight Dip. Very pretty. Very pretty. That first shade I put down, it's like the perfect one and done shade. It's gorgeous. Okay, the only Tom Ford eyeliner I have is the dual-ended liquid eyeliner. I'm not doing that today, okay? Not today, Satan. I'm gonna use Ember and Tightline. And actually, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to the quad and go back in with brush number 2, pick up that dark shade and just drag that under my lash line here. Alrighty, now let's move on to these tinted lip glows. I think with this particular look, I'm gonna wanna end up with nude bikini. So I'll try Cruise Control first, but I'm a little bit nervous because I think these stain, and I don't really wanna leave a stain down. We'll do it quickly, Okay, here is Cruise Control. This is that bright orange shade, which I really, really love. Well, reddish orange, tomato red, we'll call it. There is Cruise Control. I like how they really sheer out, really pretty. You know, when I swatched them, I was like, these are just supposed to be tinted. They seemed so pigmented. They seemed so opaque. But yeah, once you kind of blend it out, really nice. Oh, and I do have it over this. My lips do feel really nice. This hydrating lip oil. So there is Cruise Control. Let me see if I can layer this and build up the pigment. Let's see. Oh, I like that. A tint that is buildable. Very nice. All right, let me get a makeup remover here. Removing wipe. Yeah, there's a little bit left behind, but I think what actually helped was having this down. So maybe I'll put that down because I appreciate what a stain does, right? When the actual, you know, product maybe wears away, you're still left with a little bit of pigment, but I don't know, I just don't like it. I'd rather just reapply. So that is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put down some more of this hydrating lip oil. I really like the feel of this. All right, and now we're gonna go in with Nude Bikini. I'm excited for this shade. This shade actually reminds me of the Fantôme lip gloss from Tom Ford. It's an interesting brown color where it looks cool and warm all at the same time. These have an interesting scent. I don't know what's going on with lip products these days and like the weird kind of scent that they have. Yeah, it doesn't smell, I don't know. It smells like makeup. It doesn't smell like it's fragranced at all. It doesn't smell like it's bad or anything. It just smells like, I don't know, kind of weird. Almost like, this is gonna sound awful, but almost like building material. Like, it just smells like a thing. I don't know. That's weird though. Anyway, I'm getting into the weeds. All right, so there is most of the Tom Ford products that I got. I really, really like the bronzer. I think it's very, very reminiscent to the previous formula. It's soft, it's really blendable, picks up very, very easily. You could very easily use a synthetic brush with that. The blushes, they grew on me. They definitely grew on me. When I first laid it down, as you guys know, a little bit too matte for me, but I do feel like once it settled down, a little bit of my natural skin came through. The foundation underneath kind of came through, the primer that I had on, like all that kind of like calmed down. The matteness of it just sort of like settled down. This highlight is not for the faint of heart. It is very, very bright. So I don't know if that's what you're going for. I do think this is just, you like it or you don't like it. It's very, very bright. The tone is a little bit cooler than I thought. It's a little bit cooler than I thought, but it's not too cool where I feel like it's too icy and it looks strange on my skin. I think it actually looks very nice. Like there's a little teensy bit of warmth in there. So I think that's what saves it. The eyeshadows I think are very nice. I was a little bit on the fence when I was swatching them because I was like, these don't feel like the old ones. I don't know how I feel about these. But they perform really nicely. They go on nicely. It's almost like the creme formula. It's different, but it's nice. It's nice in a completely different way. So I do love it. I do love this baked gel formula. And then these lips are really cool. I like this hydrating lip oil. I mean, it's such a non-product to even talk about, but it really feels quite nice. And then these are really nice too, despite the weird fragrance. They're very nice, and I like that you can lay these down sheer, just like a light tint, or just add another layer and you've got a buildable balm, which is really nice. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Do you think Tom Ford is back? Is this a big comeback that we've been waiting for from Tom Ford Beauty? I'm really excited to see what they do in the fall. I'm excited if they bring back some of their other sort of nostalgic products, like those, do you remember those, like, they look like little clutches that had the 4 eyeshadows in the middle, and then there was a blush and a highlight, or sometimes a bronze and a highlight or whatever. Do you remember how gorgeous those were? Oh, those were absolutely stunning. Anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget, go to the Refer site and vote for your favorite end cap design. There's 2, A and B. You will get a free gift. The 3 sponges, so much fun. I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for them. When they told me they were gonna be at Sephora, I was like, what? Give me all the details. So again, for now, just Sephora in Hong Kong, but hopefully they'll be coming to the States. And definitely subscribe down below if you're interested in this kind of content, because I just ordered the new Sisley highlighter and bronzer. Yeah, highlighter and bronzer. Both of those are baked gel powder. I'm very excited to try that, and I've been meaning to redo a full face of Sisley video. So that is definitely coming. And then I did get the rest of my Sephora haul, so we're gonna be doing a video on that before the Sephora sale ends. So yeah, subscribe down below if you're interested in all of this content, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.